Hey guys, so in light of the Victoria's Secret fashion show airing a couple of days ago, I thought I would do a Victoria's Secret inspired look for you guys today. So I did a makeup and a hair tutorial on this look. If you want to see how I did this, keep on watching. Okay, so I'm going to start with priming my face. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Pore Perfecting Primer. So then for foundation, I am going to be using my MAC Pro Longwear foundation. This is the color NW13. It would help if it's open. So I'm just putting this all over my face, and then I am going to go through and blend it out with a beauty blender. I know they were using beauty blenders backstage at the Victoria's Secret fashion show, so I figure if I'm going for the Victoria's Secret look, I might as well use the same tools that they're using. So I'm just blending this out now with my beauty blender. I always kind of switch back and forth between using a brush and using a beauty blender for my foundation. I like the beauty blender because it's going to pick up any excess foundation, so it's not going to settle into any lines or anything like that or get it cakey or anything throughout the day. So then I'm going to conceal underneath my eyes here just to kind of brighten everything up a little bit. I'm using the Select Moisture Cover Concealer, and I believe this is NC15. It's like the absolute lightest shade they have because I am pasty. Again, I'm going to use the Micro Mini Beauty Blender to blend this out. Same idea, it's just going to prevent it from getting into any sort of fine lines around my eyes. Give a really smooth finish. Then I'm just going to set all of that with a translucent finishing powder. I'm using the NYX HD finishing powder. And I like to tap this into the skin. The reason I like to tap it in is you're not going to be rubbing and moving around your foundation underneath. You're going to keep everything where you want it to be. So the Victoria's Secret Angels are always very bronzed and glowing, so I'm going to go through with my MAC bronzing powder. This is Matte Bronze. And I'm going to kind of apply it in the same places that I would apply my contour, but I'm going to keep it really nice and soft and really blend it out. And I'm using my Sigma tapered face brush to do this. I'm just applying it on the cheeks here, and then onto the temples and the forehead area. And then I'm just kind of going over the rest of my face with any excess I have on the brush, just to kind of give an all-over nice glow. And then looking at pictures, they all had very nice kind of like pinky, rosy sort of cheeks. So I'm going to be using MAC Mineralize Blush in Dainty. This is a really pretty, now I can't get it open. This is a really pretty, just light pink color, and it's a mineralized blush, so it's got some shimmer to it as well. And that is going to kind of create a little bit of a dewy look without having to go in with a highlighter or anything like that, because they weren't heavily highlighted or anything in the show. They just kind of had a really natural looking glow. I'm just applying this to the apples of my cheeks and blending it backwards. Okay, so that's basically it for the face. So for brows, they were all very, very natural. Not a lot of like heavy filling in of brows and like really sharp shapes. It's just the really natural shape of the brow. So I'm just gonna fill in my brows today with my Benefit Gimme Brow. This is the light medium. This is just gonna be enough to fill in the brows but still leave the natural shape, and it just kind of helps tame any unruly brow hairs as well. So now I'm going to move on to eyes. I'm going to start off by obviously priming my eyelids just to create a nice base for everything to sit on and so my shadows won't crease. I'm using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. So I'm going to start off by applying a color all over my lid. This is MAC's Naked Lunch. It's just a kind of peachy, pinky, light, kind of shimmery, really pretty color. So I'm just going to take my large fluff, it's the E50 Sigma brush. I'm just going to apply this all over my lid. Using this as a base shadow because even if I apply more matte colors over top of it, you'll still see some of the shimmer coming through. And I want the majority of the shimmer to be on my lid. And then as we kind of work our way into the crease, kind of keep them a little bit towards the matte side. Then as my transition shade into my crease, I'm going to be using MAC's Kid. This is a velvet color, so it does have a little bit of shimmer to it, but not very much. This is kind of like a warm, really light taupe color. I'm just applying this all the way into the crease. So now I'm going to move on to the Urban Decay Vice 3 palette, and I'm going to be using the color Rain, which is a dark kind of chocolate brown color, and I'm just really, really lightly applying it to my small tapered blending brush, and I'm even kind of dabbing it off quite a bit as well because I don't want it to be quite as dark and heavy as it is in the palette. And because I'm using kind of a fluffier blending brush for it, it's not going to be as pigmented on the lid. And I'm really just kind of applying this into the outer V area, blending it a little bit into the crease. And then I'm going to go back to the fluffy blending brush I used earlier, and I'm just going to blend that all out. I'm going to go back in with the MAC Kid color, and I'm going to be using a E25 blending brush, and I am going to blend this out underneath the lower lash line here. So they don't do a lot of heavy eyeliner or anything like that in the show, so I am going to be using a pencil liner just because I want to be able to go in and smudge it out afterwards, and I am using Black Swan, which is a Pearl Glide Intense eyeliner, so it's really nice and easy to smudge out, and I'm just going to get that in as close to the lash line as possible. Doing a really thin line. I don't want to do an overly thick line because then when I go to blend it and smudge it out, it's just gonna look like I have a black smoky eye, which is not the look we're going for. I'm even just gonna bring this underneath the lash line as well, just kind of the outer third corner. And then I'm going to grab a flat definer brush, and this is another Sigma brush as well. And I'm going to use this brush to just kind of smoke this out a little bit, so it's not as much of a harsh line, so it's really nice and soft. lashes for the show were also very natural. I'm going to be using the Ardell Demi Wispies today just because I find they're a really just nice, soft, natural looking eyelash. Okay, so I've discovered that I cannot for the life of me apply lashes on camera, so I did that off camera. I also applied my mascara, and I used the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which is probably my favorite mascara at the moment. I wouldn't say it's quite better than Sex, but it's pretty up there. So next I'm going to apply lipstick, and I feel like there's no better fitting lipstick than MAC's Angel. It's just a really pretty light nude pink color, which is like exactly the color that they used at the Victoria's Secret fashion show. So like really, you can't get more fitting than a lipstick called Angel. It was obviously meant to be. The Angel lipstick is a frost, so it does have a little bit of shine to it, but they were a little bit more glossy for the show, so I am going to go over top of it with a lip gloss. And I'm just going to use the MAC Plushglass, and this is in Fashion Fanatic. I feel like I got this as part of a collection, so I don't know if it's a regular stock or not. So now the makeup is all done, and I'll show you guys how to get the luscious beach waves that the Victoria's Secret Angels have. I'm going to be using my Bellami 6-in-1 Complete Curler. You can use any sort of, whether it's like a wand that you have or a more of the large barreled curling iron. I'm going to use the 25mm, and then it goes a little bit, sorry, I'm holding the box. Goes a little bit narrower towards the end here. What that's going to create is the curls at the top are going to be a little bit looser, and then they're going to get tighter as you get towards the bottom, which is definitely the look they have. The hair is kind of more straight towards the top, and then all of the body and the movement is in towards the bottom of the hair. So while I've got that heating up here, I'm going to start off by spraying in this is not a leave-in conditioner, this is a heat protectant. I don't know why I was gonna say leave-in conditioner. This is the KMS, it's from their Free Shape line, and this is the Hot Flex spray. I am absolutely in love with this stuff. The most amazing part about it is, I don't know if you've ever tried to straighten your hair or then tried to curl it and it didn't go curly, or the opposite way around, you tried to curl it, you decided you didn't like it, tried to straighten it, and you're like, it's still curly. This, you can go unlimited times back and forth between straight and curly, and it'll be perfect every single time. Also, it's offering the heat protection, and it does have a little bit of hold to it as well, so it is going to help hold our style as we're working without going through and spraying with a hairspray. So I'm just going to spray this all over my hair, making sure to get underneath as well. And then I'm just going to go through and brush it through just to make sure it's evenly distributed everywhere. Okay, so then we're going to take the hair in sections. You don't want to take really small sections. The smaller the section you take, the smaller, tighter the curl you're gonna get. The larger the section you take, obviously the bigger, the looser the curl you're gonna get. So we want to take, I'd say, medium to large size sections. Now I have shorter hair, obviously, so I need to take slightly smaller sections. If your hair is longer, you can get away with taking a little bit bigger of sections. But just because I don't have very much length to wrap around the curling iron, especially when we get into my bottom layers here. When we get on the top, it's a little bit easier, and normally you would want to wear a glove of some sort so you don't burn your hand like I totally just did there. But the glove that comes with this doesn't actually fit my hand, so... And like, I'm totally cool with like if some pieces fall out and they're a little bit straighter, because it's meant to be sort of a really natural kind of textured look to it. So if not all of it is perfectly curly, I'm okay with that. And if you also notice, I don't know how well you can see, that it's not going right up to the root there. And you just want to kind of hold each section for, I'd say, about like 5 minutes. Cool, not 5 minutes, you'll burn your hair off. 5 seconds, oh my god. Wow, I cannot think today. And I can't do it that way. I also don't know if you guys can tell, but I've also got it pointed so the smaller end is pointing down, which is going to give that effect of the curls being looser at the top and tighter towards the bottom, which is the look we want. So now that I've got that first section done, I'm just going to kind of keep working up the hair. So I'm probably going to do this in about 3 sections. I'm dropped down my first section, which is like the whole bottom underneath my hair, and then the sides and the rest of the back are going to be done into more sections. And then what I'm doing is I'm grabbing more narrow sections going this way as I go back, but I'm keeping the height of the sections a little bit thicker. Okay, and so for the curls that are around my face, I'm going to make sure that they're going away from my face, so you're wrapping them backward. It's just a more natural look, I find. Also, that's how it was in the show, so I'm trying to do this as accurately as possible as well. And then I'm also kind of like tugging and pulling and brushing them out as I go. And for my next section here, I am going to, hold on, let me think about this. I'm wrapping it the opposite direction and I'm alternating the direction that the curls are going every time. This is going to prevent the curls from turning into like one massive curl. It's going to help keep them a little bit more separated. And another reason that I don't want to go through and kind of spray with a hairspray after each section is I want them to kind of fall out more naturally, because these are still a little bit too tight. But if I were to try and go in with a larger barreled curling iron, like I would never get it in my hair. If your hair's longer, you could use a slightly larger barrel to get those looser curls. Kind of as I get towards the back here, I'm not worrying quite as much as alternating the direction of the curls. Oh my god, I feel like this is the absolute worst. I feel like when I'm doing my hair that I'm looking at myself in a mirror upside down and backwards. It is awful, especially for someone who is a hairstylist. I can do other people's hair, no problem. I just cannot do my own hair, which is like the weirdest sounding thing ever, but anyways. Okay, so now this is the last section coming down here. This really isn't supposed to be perfect, so it shouldn't take you too long to go through and curl your hair. Don't worry about it being like there's pieces falling out here, I don't care. I'm not too worried about it being absolutely perfect. So now that I've got all the curls in, I'm really going to go through and brush this out with my fingers just to give it that kind of tousled, beachy look. It's also going to pull out the curls a bit more because it's not meant to be like a super curly look. It's meant to be more waves. You could do this like with some sort of oil just to kind of add some shine if your hair's on the drier side, but you don't want to use too much because again that's just going to make it look too shiny. Yeah, we don't want it super shiny and soft and perfect. We want it a little bit lived in. Okay, so then this is where you can go through and finish off with a hairspray to help the style last. I am using this is a really old bottle of it. These bottles do not look like this anymore. They're blue now. But this is the KMS Dry Extreme Hairspray. I really like this hairspray because it is a strong hold, but it doesn't have that hard sticky feeling that most strong hold hairsprays have. It does have a really nice soft natural finish to it. So just taking this and spraying it all over. You can spray as much as you want. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't build up and get sticky or anything in the hair. It'll stay really nice and soft. Okay guys, so this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!